Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Inner Circle podcast. Back to another day, another week, another episode.
Episode.
How are you today?
I am good. How are you, squirrel friend?
I'm good. I'm good. Listen, today's episode, and even lately in general, as I think, podcasts and what we've done and stuff, but like I've always been someone that's been so like in my mind where I would like to go many places. Um
Mhm.
Today's one of those days with getting deep because obviously we just had Mother's Day. We just celebrated Mother's Day. So, I wanted to kind of talk about that and navigating through that because um it's something to talk about, but I will get into that in a little bit. But first, dime de ti, mi amorcito. What's going on? What is
Not
it, honey bee?
what's the tea, honeybee? Not much. I didn't really celebrate Mother's Day like I wanted to, which is kind of sad. But my mom, she does work a lot, and eventually she likes to plan things or come to New York when she feels like it. She's not that far away, so ultimately we can always celebrate. I think right now my family's dealing with a lot, especially like health issues. My uncle, who's my mom's brother, is dealing with kidney issues. When I was probably like 7 years old, I remember my mom donating her kidney to my uncle because he's always had kidney issues and he had kidney failure. And obviously that happened over 23 years ago. So now his kidney is kind of obviously it's failing.
Mm.
So we're dealing with that. And my uncle is basically like the most prominent, close man I've ever had in my life. So I'm trying to like show brave face, but it's hard, especially when your parents or like people in your family members get older, and
Mm.
like we're at the age where we're now experiencing death.
Yes.
And
Hmm.
death is not something where when you're younger you're kind of oblivious to it, or like you have a conversation with your parents about it and you don't really think about it because it's not
Yeah.
pushed to the forefront. So that's what I'm dealing with, and it sucks. I don't wish it upon anyone, especially me, who I kind of like suffer from depression as it is. And I think the impending doom of like not knowing what's going to happen really sucks. So, yeah, that's just been my
Yeah.
my on.
It's feels like such a heavy week, and you would think
Yeah,
still going through some crazy eclipse or something, the eclipse a few weeks ago, because it felt like such a heavy weekend.
I know
Just
this weekend is most heavy for you.
Yeah, it was definitely heavy in the sense that yes, it was Mother's Day, and as you guys know, I lost my mom. This would be the fifth year in October, um, but this is my fourth Mother's Day without her, and it doesn't get easy, and that's I think that those words right there has been such a common trend that I've heard other people say the last few days and even leading up to Mother's Day about if you don't have a mom, it doesn't get easier. Like we know other people, um, and shout out to our girl Barbie,
Mhm.
Barney Barbie, who also knows that feeling, and she's on her platform, on her social, she's very open about it. And for her, I can't imagine, because for her, she lost her mom at a young age. But with
Right.
me, I was already in my 30s, and one of the things with losing a parent, and for me, I have to say I'm thankful that at least I got to grow up into a man. Although my mom had me young, so my mom was still young. My mom was only 47. So like she still had so much more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's trippy in that sense too. But in some weird way, at least I'm also thankful that she got to grow up to see all her boys,
Hmm.
men, grow up into and good men too. Because even with trauma, things we've been through in the past, and we've all gone through it, every walks of life, like, we have turned out to be a good, like, solid group of boys and men, like,
Yeah.
and compared to like some of our own family members and other people, cousins and such. So it's hard. And for me, like, I think I told you, and I shared it with other people as well, like, on Friday, you're going into the weekend and you think it's fine. And, I work out of school. Um, so they're having an event for moms and stuff. And for me, what did it early in the morning, it was like 8 something, and they started playing that Boys to Men song, a
A
song,
song from Mama. Yeah.
and it was just like instant, instant, instant. And I just had to like go to my office and basically like like, not, I was trying not to let no tear dry, but when your eyes are welling up, you know what I mean? And then that lump, and it kind of threw off my morning. It made it hard to like kind of like want to even step into the hallways, because obviously the moms and stuff. But at the same time, it brings me joy to see that,
Hmm.
um, and see the moms showing up and dressed up and their kids and stuff. Like, it's still in a weird bittersweet flip side way. Although I'm sad, it makes me like happy to see that going on. So, um, and I'm gonna try not to cry on this podcast. I've only cried like 1 or 2 times, and one of the times was when Flo read me. Um, but it's hard, and I wanted to also be intentional on Mother's Day. It didn't
Hmm.
plan out the way I wanted to this weekend. I didn't plan it that way. It didn't pan out. It was hard for me, but on Sunday I still wanted to be intentional. Again, it didn't pan out, but it's just hard. It's hard, and for anyone out there who's lost a parent, or or
Even close.
who's dealing with someone who's lost a parent, like around this time of year, um, just be understanding, have some grace, um,
Hmm.
because people act out in many different ways. You may find whoever you're dealing with maybe draw distant, or just be somber, or not talk much, or a little snippy, and whatever it may be. Like, it does impact them. And if for those who haven't dealt with a great loss or a parent and stuff, like, like, you don't know that feeling. You don't know, like, even with time, like, well, damn, didn't she die like 10 years ago? You don't know those emotions. And then especially Mother's Day, and we was talking about this a little before the show. Mother's Day is shoved in your face. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's shoved in your face. That flowers every corner, especially New York. Like, you see the celebrations. If you go out on a Monday to eat, on a Sunday to eat yourself, just by yourself or whoever your spouse, you're gonna see, like, so it's shoved in your face. So it's hard maybe not to, like, as a person who's lost their mom, not get choked up, or not have it affect you, or make you a little somber.
I will say it's not just losing a mom. You could also, because I have a couple of friends that are not close with their moms. So it's a little bit somber too, because you're kind of mourning that person, although they might not be dead, but also
That
you don't have the relationship anymore.
And not only that, to add to, and I spoke to someone at an event I was in this past weekend on Friday. Um, Someone who opened up to me and said that they lost their brother on Mother's Day, but she acknowledged that Mother's Day kind of is not always the same day.
Hmm.
But when she lost him initially, it was on a Mother's Day. So, like you said, it could impact, you and different people in different ways and stuff that holiday, depending on the trauma, depending what has happened, you know what I mean? But um for me also, it's like as the oldest brother, um one of five, it's not only my sadness that I carry, but it's also like worrying about my brothers. Um
Mhm.
and their sadness and how they're doing and how they're dealing. I'm an empath, you know what I mean? I have emotional intellect, I'm emotionally connected. So I feel other people, like I feel for other people and I worry about other people. And then, and like you said, you suffer from depression. Like I've gone through depression and I try my best not to fall in those funks, but there's times like where you just get into a funk. This weekend felt like that for me.
Yeah.
This weekend definitely felt like a little depression moment for me. Although I haven't, the last time I felt a big depression that carried for a length of time was 2021, but and before that 2017, 18 and 17 into 18. But it's tough. It's tough. But listen, for the people who have their moms, cherish your moms, like you said, those people who have like those issues, like, it's hard, but try to repair that. Like, um, one thing that I'm very happy about is the bond with my brothers, because I was listening to another podcast today, and they were talking about Danielle Cabral from Jersey and her brother and that, and how now she's not talking to her dad. I don't know if you've seen the latest
Yeah, I
episode.
did.
So I was listening to that, and it's like, as I'm listening to it, I'm like, yo, I can't imagine, if my mom alive and my dad, and then any of me and my brothers having that such a deep conflict where it stresses on them and it divides them and stuff. So because
Mhm.
me and my brothers are like, I'm very thankful. I'm very, very thankful. Although we used to, well, not we used to, I used to whip their ass. Maybe they could whip my ass now, but I used to whip their ass. They used to beat each other up. Although but that's young sibling shit. You know what I mean? But like as adult, adolescent, adult, as it got there, like I'm very glad and thankful that like we've never
Yeah.
had issues where like you don't talk to your brother, meet nephews, meet. You know what I mean? That's crazy. Life's too short. And
Yeah, I don't have the luxury I feel in my life right now and at my age to tarnish relationships, especially with family. You're always going to have your arguments, you're always going to have your disagreements, but when it comes to family, especially like your parents, your older relatives, you can't shun them out or be like, I'll deal with them at a later time, because the world right now is so fucked, and it's so like literally cognitive distortion is like among us, and how people act now is completely different how people used to act before. Now it almost feels like everyone is replaceable, even family members included, and that's really sad.
yeah.
I feel for you. I think it's great that your brothers and you are have such a tight bond, and you guys still have managed to like still keep this like intact throughout all that the shit that happened. But I feel bad because I don't think that you should be holding so much weight in your shoulders. I
Mm.
think you carry on a lot and you are an empath. We are empaths, which is, I hate to say that and admit it, but it's true. I cannot, people love to say, I'm an empath. I'm an empath. Like that's a joke, but like that's not that's not a luxurious title to have.
Oh my God. Say it louder for the people in the back. It really isn't.
I
It
wish I had the mentality where I was just like, I don't give a shit. These are my feelings. I feel like this is how I feel. Go with it or don't go with it. I don't care. But having the world of other people's, having the weight of other people's issues or thoughts or whatever, you feeling it, it doesn't help. It's
yeah,
a spiral.
yeah, it's tough. And even in therapy, my therapist, it's crazy you're saying that to me. And I think I believe also messages and continuous, just like I believe there's such things as mantras and continue to say that and think. I believe when you continue hearing people tell you the same type of message, just like you just stated.
Yeah.
Therapist has said it. I've heard it in different forms of ways and in different scenarios. I do carry a lot, but it's just I don't know how to let it go and not care. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Especially when it comes to like family,
Yeah.
um, or people I love that I truly love that means something in my life. Like it's like it's
I
tough. It's
I
tough.
will say though, to like, not to close it off, but one thing that my therapist has taught me, because I have expressed to her how much I feel, like how much anxiety I feel, and how sometimes I get into these bouts of depression just thinking about, oh my God, my mom's gonna die. After your mom passed, I'm not gonna lie, like I kind of sort of thought like, oh my God, that can happen to my mom. My mom suffers from high blood pressure. My mom likes to turn up and like get rowdy, and God knows, God forbid she pops a blood vessel or something. And then with my uncle and his medical issues, I constantly am thinking that. Sometimes I think it's really sad to say this, but like I'll see my mom calling me, or I'll see my phone light up and it's my uncle, and I get freaked out because I'm afraid that it's going to be a bad call.
Mm.
Ew, I don't want to get emotional, but one thing my therapist did tell me, and I need to like, and I'm going to share this with you, is that the hole that you have, this open wound that you have of like pain, is never going to close. It's never going to heal. What you need to do is grow life around it and grow like happiness around it.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, the memories that you have, like cherish them and hold on to them. Don't have this, why me? That sucks. I miss my mom so much. Like, you can miss her,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
and miss the like what could have been, but also cherish the fact that she's taught you a lot. She's taught you and your brothers a lot, and like that's perseverance right there.
Strength, like strength. She's a strong woman. Someone to have 5 boys and starting at 14. Listen, like and thank you for that. And I love that, and it's so true. I agree with that. Building life around that, because don't get me wrong, it's tough. It's a tough time to have Mother's Day, but it's not like you know I agree. Don't. And I was a big advocate. I checked up on my brothers with this, and I even gave them advice like, listen, talk to a therapist. If initially when it happened, if you have to, there's nothing wrong with that, because you shouldn't. Like, especially, I remember the conversations me and my mom had literally months before, which makes it. I'm someone who really pays attention to things and connect things. Um, so it's meaningful to what she said about what she didn't want me and my brothers to be is all down and depressed. Um, her and I had our closure in many ways. So I can't be that person. I have to be strong, what she taught us, and persevere. And that's the advice I give to everyone. It's tough as fuck losing someone very close to you. Mom,
Mhm.
some people don't have moms. It could be an uncle, it could be the grandma, it could be a grandpa. It's tough. But like you said, build life around it, and especially during those tough times, whether it's the Christmases, whether it's the Mother's Day and stuff. It's funny because Christmas, is it like I guess maybe with my brothers if they get emotional, but it's more tough Mother's Day. Like around the holidays, people get depressed too and stuff. But I would say
Yeah,
it's Mother's Day. It's Mother's Day for me.
I think it's suffer. I don't really.
Well,
Father's Day, Father's Day doesn't get the same love, but I think with Mother's Day,
poor dads.
um, mothers birthed you, they carried you, and
Yeah.
like women are so, we're not light years ahead where we should be, whether that's in like a corporate setting in life. Like, look at how people still think of housewives as being, and I don't mean the fucking show, I mean the actual occupation. They treat housewives to be like a non-factor job, when that's, raising a kid is a whole fucking job within itself.
Cook,
So I
take this.
mean, it does hurt because either you have a mom or you don't. So
But
anyway, I'm getting a frog in my throat. Let's change the
on
subject.
a lighter note, yes. What a good segue. We both said at the same time. On a lighter note, please tell me you seen
What?
SNL this past week. I don't even watch SNL, but at least on the TikToks or on the thing, the Maya Rudolph Mother Off or whatever that song. I am mother. You have to watch.
I think I saw it. I think I saw it, but she was like, was it? She was making fun of the RuPaul song.
No, no, no. She wasn't. You just gotta watch it. It's kind of like an original song written for her because there's jokes and then there's like a little
I
stuff.
love Maya Rudolph.
No, you have to watch it after this. You definitely have to watch it. It's hilarious.
Oh, I think I just
It's hilarious. I was just dying. I like right before the show. I'm like, I hope Melanie sees this because it's hilarious. It was this past Saturday. I guess obviously celebrating Mother's
oh my god. She said, remember in that movie when I pooped my pants? Bridesmaids is like one of my fucking favorite movies. Like top.
But afterwards, watch the whole thing, but really listen to the words and stuff so you can really laugh and enjoy it. But
Hilarious.
what else? So many shows. I know you're a TV head. For me,
Yeah.
so happy the Circle's back. I didn't even know the Circle.
Oh
was
god, you and my sister Ashley are like obsessed with that damn
OMG.
show.
I'm gonna be on that show.
She applied. Imagine you guys both getting at the same time.
I am going to be on that show. And then today I had more of reaffirmation because something, the thing I told you about that I attended today, something that they do is called Circle. So it's like, yo, and then our podcast, the Inner Circle. So yo, I'm telling you. But that's back. I'm almost done with that. I didn't even know. I found out while I was in Barbados. I was like, what the fuck? There's a new season. I would have downloaded and been on the plane like.
Who's the host? Michelle Bateau.
Oh, still Michelle Bateau. Yeah, they can't switch her. She does such a good job.
Hilarious. I love her.
Hilarious. Like you don't even see her. Well, you see her at the end, like during the reunion. But her voiceovers, like she makes the show too.
Yeah, she had a show. I forget the name of it, but she had a Netflix show, like a Netflix.
Yeah, that's been for a new season.
It did.
It did, but I don't watch it. But it did.
I loved it because it takes place in New York. It is so good. I really like her.
Because they came out with all the shows that got renewed. There's the time of year where they come out with all the shows that got renewed or canceled.
Oh, the upfronts.
Yeah, so the upfronts was late last week. So yeah, like the Connors, the spin-off from Roseanne. Next season's the last season. That show, The Talk, is ending like in December. What else?
You know what movie I watched for the first time this weekend? And I know how the movie's like. I didn't know how it ended, but I knew about the movie. But Pretty Woman.
Oh, for the first time?
Yeah, girl. I mean, listen, there are shows that I feel like from the 90s, those rom-coms that a lot of people know about them because they just throw it in your face. And remember, like VH1 used to do I Love the 90s?
Yeah.
They would do like they would do like a synopsis of each movie. So that's kind of sort of like how I knew about the movie, but I never really watched it. I love Julia Roberts. I liked that movie, Mystic Pizza.
I never see Mystic Pizza, although I had out of the Mystic Pizza in Connecticut, and I've driven by the Mystic Pizza, Connecticut. I don't know how true that is, but
the Michelle Bateau Netflix show that I was talking about is called Survival of the Thickest.
Yeah, they got renewed for the second season. Yeah.
Garcelle Bouvet's in that show. Anyway, what else did I watch? I don't know. Oh, I think I texted you and I told you this. I restarted watching Pose.
Oh yeah. You told me.
And watching it the second time, it's like, well, third at this point. It's enlightening. It's actually funnier, and I guess it's like more lighthearted, but well, not really because it's kind of sad. But yeah, what other shows have you watched since you got back from Barbados?
Well, I've been on the Circle. Oh, and then
Jersey.
Pretty Little Liars Summer School season 2. Pretty Little Liars. I guess this was called titled Summer School season 2 just started. So they released their first 2 episodes on HBO Max. Keep falling asleep on the second episode. I gotta finish the second episode, but I'm not mad because then by the time I finish it or do watch it, then there will be a new episode Thursday. So
I remember when I watched Gossip Girl during COVID, and I was like, "Oh, this is actually a good show, whatever." And then they decided, like I think last year, they decided to do like a
reboot,
and it was like with like younger kids and stuff.
Yeah.
I tried so hard to like it. I can't. I'm good.
I don't even bother. I didn't even bother, to be honest. Mind you, I have Max. I'm like, I ain't even. But you know what? I love the original. I'm not even gonna say love. I got into the original Gossip Girl, and I watched the four seasons. I watched it like every weekly when the episode. But then I didn't watch the last season.
The last season, I fast forwarded and just wanted to find out who the fuck was Gossip Girl, because I feel like it was heading towards a direction that I didn't care for. When the little young sister became like a little goth head, I was like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, I seen that too. Yeah, that's when I started. I started getting lost around that time too. But what I'm excited about, and I don't know if you ever got into it, but they're doing it, I guess, somewhat of a reboot because they already tried a reboot. But what this one includes Heather Locklear, Daphne Zuniga, and Leighton Meester.
Leighton Meester.
No, not Leighton Meester, not her. I'm confused. That's Gossip Girl. Laura, whatever. She played the redhead bitch. Melrose Place.
I never got into that show.
Oh my god!
I've never cared for white English soap operas.
Not even you got into 90210.
But I'm loyal. I like my Univision, Telemundo.
No, you have some
telenovelas.
You have some snowflake in you, and some like the music. Even me. I mean, me. Hello. Fernando always calls me the whitest.
But I'm trying to think. Like, I've never cared for Melrose Place. What is it? Beverly Hills 9. No, never watched it. Never really cared for Grey's Anatomy. Even though I've seen some clips on TikTok, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. But I'm not gonna watch 25 whatever Days of Our Lives. Absolutely fucking not.
That's
Dynasty. That's not my vibe.
No, me either. I never got into no American soap operas either. The only one that I'm not gonna lie, only American English soap opera I got was Passions.
Nah, I heard of it, but I never watched it.
And it's ended years ago. But
there was one.
I was more of a novela guy. But even novelas, I haven't watched.
I love novelas, and then there used to be this one show that my mom used to make. She used to watch religiously, and when we lived in Miami, there was always this show playing on the TV screens when we went to the doctor's office. It was called Mujer Casos de la Vida Real. Please,
I remember that.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I remember.
That was the craziest freaking show I ever seen in my life. There would be the craziest scenarios. This girl was mean to her mom, and her mom decided to punish her and put her on timeout. So she ran away, and when she ran away, she got kidnapped and she got tortured. And after that, she ran away and managed to get free. And after that, she said to her mom, "I will never run away. You're the best mom ever," on some crazy shit. And my mom would be like, "Do it. That's why you can't do bad things, because God's gonna punish you."
Yo, parents, when they were younger, the things they try to be like, you see.
Yeah, try to fucking scare the shit out of me. But you don't see TV like that anymore. You don't.
No, the good old days. And that's another thing too, that's another thing I've been reminiscing, thinking about a lot too. Now, again, you said earlier, we had a point in our life where now we're thinking about our parents and stuff, and our family members getting older. So again, and funny enough, there is something I'll share with you more in depth.
Yeah.
My family is going through right now. Remind me. But yeah, so I get it. It's tough. And that's what made me also think reminiscing, damn, we are at that point, and just wow, just reminisce deep. But that's another show, thing. But
there's a show I forgot to mention. It's on Prime Video. You can use mine if you need to. It's called The GOAT, and it's with Joel McHale. I saw a couple of Bravo celebrities and also Drag Race. Alyssa Edwards is part of it.
Yeah,
are you gonna watch it?
I'm thinking about it. I'm
gonna try. Maybe when I'm in the mood to watch it. That's another thing too. If I'm not in the mood to watch certain things, I just watch repeats of shows that are comforting for me, and I'll watch it, but it all depends how I feel.
Yeah. No, I heard of it. I heard of it, but I'm like, I don't know. Um, but we'll see because I still have the circle and all that stuff to finish. But um,
Don't you have to watch what's the trade? No, not Traders. Traders is not coming out. The other was something of Villains, House of Villains.
oh no, I finished season 1 and season 2 doesn't come out till fall.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
JK.
But with that being said, we are out. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this podcast. It was a good listen. I
Short
like
and quick.
short and quick, but it also a shift of conversation, like good deep conversation. It's good to open up and be able to share because we know just like we connect with certain things, I'm sure there's people out there that could connect with what we're going through as well, and maybe us help navigate in some way. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this podcast. You guys know what to do. Follow, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff is for free. Like this video, share it. You can find us on YouTube, obviously, Facebook, streaming the very next day on Apple, Spotify, iHeart. We are out. See you guys next week. Adios.
Thank you for watching. Make sure to follow, like, share, subscribe, everything the Inner Circle podcast, and catch us every Wednesday live at 8 p.m. on YouTube and Facebook.